Sometimes our refusal to forgive the people that hurt us will affect our future relationships. Listen, if you have been involved in situations where you have constantly been hurt, constantly been used and abused, sometimes you can misinterpret innocent situations, right? Maybe you're at work and you feel like you're doing all the work. While that may be the case, sometimes that's not the case. It may look that way, but that's not always the case. Maybe somebody is doing something that you are not aware of. Or maybe you're in traffic and somebody looks at you, in a weird way in the car next to you. And because you grew up in a home or you are dating or married to someone who always gives you this sort of judgmental look, you get upset and you have road rage. Every time somebody reminds you of something that you've been through in the past or are currently dealing with that is hurtful for you, if you do not heal, you will mess up your chances to fully grow and become the person that God has called you to be. Remember, a lot of the times God uses relationships to get us to the next level. Look, even think about Joseph's story. If he had allowed his pain, right, when his brothers threw him in that ditch, right, sold him, and then he went and Potiphar's wife accused him of rape, right, and then he went to prison and all these different things that he had went through. If he had been stuck in the past and he was unwilling to forgive his brothers, then he would have never became the man that God had called him to be. He would have never became second to Pharaoh, right? It was because he learned that through everything, God is much bigger than our enemies. So, my charge for you today is that you forgive and you move forward so that you don't ruin your good, godly relationships before they begin. Let me read this scripture to you and then I'm going to get up off here. Romans chapter 12, verse 16, and I want to read the New Living Translation. It says, live in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people. And don't think you know it all. Look, it's a difference between discernment and assumptions. Sometimes you have to be willing to be hurt in order to grow. And sometimes God will challenge you and he will show you something. And it may look like it was the same thing that you went through in the past, but that's not always what it is. Some people, they when they not laughing and they not smiling, like I'm one of those people, when my face is resting, I look mean. I know I do. I've been told my whole life. People will say smile and this and that. Or people will come to me and say, oh, I thought you were mean because of the way you look. And see, that's not only unfair to them because they've missed out on relations, but that's unfair to me because I look a certain way, because it reminds you of something else. Doesn't mean that's the case. So like I said, forgive and move forward. God will use relationships to bless you. Now is your time to use your discernment and stop making assumptions. And guess what? You will become the man or woman that God has called you to be. You feel me? All right, God bless you. I placed the link to my book, People Are Evil, in the comment section below. I meant the description box below. Grab you a copy. It will be a blessing to you. I shared my story of how I struggled with narcissistic types of relationships for a very long time and how it not only affected me, but it affected my relationships in the past and even still now. Sometimes I have to check myself and say, Sade girl, he's not them or she's not them. I have to remind myself of this. So check it out. Also, if this video resonates with you, subscribe to my channel, comment below, share it, and guess what? I'll see you next time. God bless.